Before we begin the story, remember this simple truth. Sometimes the people who appear lazy are not truly lazy. Often they are simply waiting for the right reason to push themselves. And when that moment arrives, they can surprise everyone, including themselves. This is the story of a boy who was known throughout his village as the laziest person around. Yet he ended up proving that intelligence and determination can beat pure strength. In a quiet farming village lived a boy named Ryan. He lived with his parents in a small house surrounded by green rice fields. His father worked very hard every day growing crops to support the family. Farming was not easy. From sunrise to sunset, Ryan's father would plow the fields, plant seeds, water the crops, and protect them from pests and birds. Ryan, however, was very different from his father. He hated hard work. While other boys in the village helped their families with chores, Ryan preferred lying under a tree, staring at the clouds, or taking long naps. His father often sighed and said, "Ryan, one day you will have to take responsibility. Life is not about resting all the time." Ryan would nod, but deep down, he hoped he could avoid work forever. Even though Ryan disliked work, his father still gave him a small responsibility. Every day during harvest season, Ryan had to sit near the rice field and scare away the birds that tried to eat the crops. The job sounded simple, but it required. The birds would come again and again, and Ryan had to keep chasing them away. At first, Ryan tried doing the job properly, but after a while, he became bored and tired. So he thought of a shortcut. Instead of standing and shouting at the birds all day, Ryan tied several ropes across the field and attached pieces of wood and sticks to them. When the wind blew, the sticks would move and make noise. The birds thought someone was in the field and stayed away. Ryan smiled proudly. Now he could lie down in the shade and relax while the ropes and sticks did the work for him. Whenever his father returned to check the field, the birds were gone and the crops were safe. Although the task was done, Ryan's father was worried. He said to his wife, "Our son always looks for the easiest way out. What will happen when he must face real challenges in life?" One summer, something unexpected happened. Ryan's father became seriously ill. He was too weak to go to the fields or take care of the crops. Suddenly, the responsibility of the farm fell entirely on Ryan's shoulders. At first, Ryan thought, how hard could it be? But he quickly realized the truth. There was far more work than he had imagined. He had to water the crops, repair fences, remove weeds, protect the fields, and manage the harvest. The days were long and exhausting. Ryan was not prepared for this kind of responsibility. Within weeks, the farm began to suffer. Some crops dried up. Others were eaten by pests. Ryan felt ashamed. He sat beside the field one evening and thought to himself, "If I had worked harder before, maybe I would know how to handle all this." For the first time in his life, Ryan understood the value of effort. One day, a royal soldier arrived in the village with an important announcement. He gathered the villagers and said loudly, "The king is holding a great competition at the palace. Anyone who believes they are clever or capable may participate. The winner will receive a large chest filled with gold coins." The villagers began whispering excitedly. Gold coins could change a person's life forever. Ryan's heart started beating faster. If he could win that prize, he could save the farm and take care of his parents. But when he told the villagers he planned to enter the competition, many people laughed. "Ryan?" someone said. "The lazy boy wants to compete?" Another villager joked, "He'll probably fall asleep before the first challenge even starts." Ryan felt embarrassed, but he ignored the laughter. For the first time, he had a powerful reason to try. The next day, Ryan traveled to the king's palace along with many other contestants. Strong men, athletes, and skilled workers had gathered from different villages. When the king appeared, the crowd fell silent. The king explained the first challenge. Across the palace grounds was a wide lake. To qualify for the next round, the king announced, "You must reach the opposite side of the lake." Immediately, the strongest contestants jumped into the water and began swimming with all their strength. Ryan stood quietly, watching. He knew something important. He was not the strongest swimmer. If he jumped in like everyone else, he would lose. So instead of rushing into the water, Ryan walked into the nearby forest. He gathered several long branches and tied them together using vines. Within a short time, he built a small floating raft. Then he gently pushed it into the lake and climbed on top. While the swimmers struggled and became tired, Ryan slowly paddled across the water. One by one, he passed exhausted contestants. When he reached the other side, he finished among the first few competitors. The spectators were shocked. The lazy boy had outsmarted everyone. Only 3 contestants remained for the final round. In the center of the field stood 3 massive wooden blocks. The king explained the final task. "You must move your wooden block 1 kilometer to the finish line, but you may only choose one tool to help you." Several tools were placed on a table: ropes, levers, hammers, and a small knife. The first contestant chose a rope and began dragging the heavy block across the ground. The second contestant picked a strong lever and pushed the block forward with great effort. Ryan looked carefully at the tools. Then he chose the smallest one, a knife. The crowd began whispering again. "What is he doing?" someone asked. "That tool is useless for moving." But Ryan calmly walked to his wooden block and began cutting. At first, people were confused. Why was he carving the wood instead of moving it? Slowly, Ryan shaped the edges of the block, smoothing and rounding them. After a long time of careful work, the block was no longer square. It had become round, like a giant wheel. Ryan smiled. Then he gently pushed the wheel. It rolled forward easily. While the other contestants struggled and sweated, trying to drag their heavy blocks, Ryan simply rolled his creation toward the finish line. Within minutes, he crossed the line first. The king stood up and applauded. "Young man," he said, "many people believed you were lazy, but today, you showed something far more powerful than strength: your mind." Ryan bowed respectfully. The villagers who once laughed at him were now amazed. Ryan returned home with a chest of gold coins. The prize money helped his family recover the farm and live comfortably again. But more importantly, Ryan had learned something valuable. He realized that laziness alone leads nowhere. However, intelligence combined with determination can solve even the hardest problems. From that day forward, Ryan still believed in working smart, but he also understood the importance of responsibility and effort. And the boy once known as the laziest person in the village became one of the most respected.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the story, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories like this.